All right, it's 10:30 and the news has just begun. Let me say a very good evening to you and welcome you to Newsline on Metro TV. We're live on DSTV channel 277. We're also streaming live on Facebook at Metro News and on Twitter at Metro TVGH. I am Moro Awudu. Now, coming up this evening on Newsline, Senior Minister Yao Osafo-Maafo is insisting that a Kufuor administration deserves all the accolades for the construction of the now commissioned 4-tier Pokwase interchange, but not the Mahama administration, which sought the funds. And also, 9-member ad hoc parliamentary committee set up to investigate whether government indeed procured Sputnik V vaccines through middlemen at an inflated cost. Newsline is always brought to you by Delta Paper, producers of floral disposable tissue. Newsline will be right back.
Did you know that cloth handkerchief gets dirty and wet after wiping your sweat or blowing your nose with it? Keeping a dirty handkerchief in your pocket or bag is very unhygienic. Reusing it increases your chances of getting sick from germs. That is why I always use floral disposable handkerchiefs. Floral disposable handkerchiefs is disposable, thus making it a more hygienic option. It's thick and very absorbent. With 10 tissues in a pack, floral disposable handkerchief is better than a cloth handkerchief. Look out for Flora toilet roll, Flora multi-purpose paper towels, Flora table napkins, and Flora box tissues in a shop near you. For bill purchases, call Delta Paper Mail on 0243 033 033.
In Ghana and in Africa, there is only one place to look to get that luxurious design and decor for your offices and homes. Visit Jamila Home. We give you the climax of luxury wherever you find yourself. Presidential and executive office furniture, living room sets, dining set, stunning mirrors, adorable wallpapers, lovely king and queen size beds, valuable antiques and antique goods, beautiful chandeliers and more. Into the bargain, we provide caring customer service, prompt delivery service, skilled and artistic full house design and decor services, and free decor ideas for your space. Our products and service is unparalleled, boasting of top-tier clients all over the globe. Jamila Home, home of first-class quality furniture, beautiful chandeliers, and antiques.
Welcome back to the program. And now to our first story, where the senior presidential advisor Yao Osafo-Maafo says, even though the erstwhile Mahama administration deserves some credit for securing funding for the Pokwase interchange, the implementation of the project is what matters. According to him, in 2017, government was able to modify the initial 3-tier to a 4-tier interchange at no cost and therefore deserves praise. He made this comment when President Kufuor commissioned the Pokwase interchange today. Metro News' Henry Kwesibedu was at the commissioning and has the rest of the story.
After construction started in the year 2018, President Nana Addo Dankwa Kufuor has today opened all routes on the Pokwase interchange for vehicles.
Accordingly, ladies and gentlemen, I have the great pleasure to declare the Pokwase interchange duly commissioned.
There has been controversy surrounding who got funding for the construction of the interchange. But today, it has been put to bear. President Nana Addo Dankwa Kufuor said, although the NDC government or the John Mahama-led administration got the funding from the African Development Bank, his government ensured that the interchange was changed from a 3-tier interchange to a 4-tier interchange.
It is important to put on record that the original contract design was for a 3-tier interchange. However, through efficient management by my government, the interchange was modified to a 4-tier structure within the same contract sum. These are further examples of the fact that we in the new patriotic party are good protectors of the public purse.
Senior presidential advisor Osafo Mafo also says it is not about who gets the funding, but it's about who implements the projects.
Government is a continuous process. Yes, there is nothing static about government. And therefore, somebody has to start. But what is important is who implemented the project. And therefore, it's important that we must congratulate the government that initiated it. It's also very important. But somebody must take it through the implementation. That is what this government has done. Taking it through implementation, they managed to construct from a 3-tier cost to a 4-tier at the same cost.
Minister for Roads and Highways, Kwesi Amwakwata, says his outfit is working closely with the National Road Safety Authority and also the Ghana Police Service to ensure accidents are reduced to its barest minimum on the stretch.
We have done very elaborate road signs, and all the safety measures have been taken. The police will continue to be deployed here, and then the Road Safety Authority, National Road Safety Authority, are also here, and they will continue to be here with people engineers from my ministry. So we are not abandoning it after the official opening. We shall continue to be here to deploy the relevant people to guide motorists and all, because we do not want to record any needless or unnecessary accident here.
Drivers who ply the stretch have complained about the complex nature of the Pokwase interchange. According to them, they would want more education to be conducted by the authorities to ensure traffic is reduced here. Reporting from Metro News, I am Henry Kwesi Bedu from Pokwase.
Well, meanwhile, the opposition NDC in the Savannah region has called on President Akufo-Addo to acknowledge the former President John Mahama for the numerous projects it initiated in the region. The party's regional communications officer, Malik Basintale, said the party is aware that President Akufo-Addo will be commissioning some projects in the region in the coming days, but does not have any intention of giving the former president, John Mahama, any credit for initiating those projects. Mr. Basintale joins us on the phone to throw some more light on a press statement he issued a while ago. Good evening, sir. Thanks for joining us on Newsline.
Good evening, and thanks for having me.
Right. Why have you found it necessary to issue this press statement?
Good evening to your viewers. It's become very necessary that we take some time out of our busy schedules to inform the Ghanaian people, not just to inform, but to remind them of some of these projects that were commenced under the erstwhile John Dramani Mahama's government. The reason being that it's become very common, notable to President Akufo-Addo, that any time he is to commission a project that was inaugurated or started under President Mahama, he fails to give credit to him. We all remember that when President Prof. Mills was to commission the N1 project, he invited President Kufuor and gave credit to him. And as we know, the popular saying goes, give credit to whom credit is due. He thought it wise that if President Kufuor had struggled to secure a loan facility for that project, had monitored it to even commence before leaving office, it was just prudent that he invites him to the short curtain, ceremony, just to the commissioning of it, just to give him credit for it. President Akufo-Addo had commissioned several projects, and failed to give credit to President Mahama. In fact, in some of the projects, he boastfully, and I don't want to use the word shamelessly, but he sought to take credit, for as though he did not know the facts, pertaining to such projects. And so he is to visit our region from Sunday to Monday and to commission some of, such projects. And so we thought that, look, let's remind the Ghanaian people that these are projects that were started by President Mahama their loan facilities were secured. In fact, in the case of, these hospital projects, there were 5 in number. The loan facility was secured, from the Raiffeisen Bank of Vienna.
Right.
Austria.
Now, Mr. Basintale, sorry about that. Mr. Basintale, because we don't have all the time, I'm not sure that I will be able to, give you all the time for you to list the projects that the former president initiated in your region. But the former president himself, and he has said it time and again, that, this thing about who started and who is completing or who is finishing is something that we must move away from, because governance is a continuous process. It's a continuum. Direct principles of state policy. Somebody starts, somebody finishes. It's the same issue when it's the same thing that comes up when issues about liabilities also come up, which is that you inherit assets, you inherit liabilities. Let's move away from who started and who ended. You don't think that, and besides, do the people in Savannah really care who has started or who is finishing? They just want the projects to be done so that they can have access to it, so that their lives get better. You don't think so?
I don't know if you are familiar with this debate about the country's public debt. Remember that this loan facility was from the Raiffeisen Bank of Vienna, Austria. Also remember that before President Mahama left, he had accumulated a debt of close to 80 billion. Also remember that our debt had risen to 120 billion. Remember that these monies that were secured as loan facilities were added onto the debt stock of President Mahama. And so if President Akufo-Addo can boldly stand on the podium and say that President Mahama accumulated a debt of, close to 80 billion, then he should be bold enough to say that as part of his loan facilities, he was able to commence such projects.
Right, I understand. I understand the point you just made. Understand. Mr. Malik Basintale, I want to thank you very much for joining us on Newsline. I appreciate your time. Malik Basintale is the communications officer for the NDC in the Savannah region. We now move to another story where the second Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Andrew Isiama, has named a 9-member ad hoc parliamentary committee to investigate whether government indeed procured Sputnik V vaccines through middlemen at an inflated cost. The committee will be chaired by Deputy Majority Leader Alexander Afenyo-Markins and assisted by Ranking Member on the Health Committee of Parliament, Kwabena Minta Akando.
Afenyo-Markins as the chairman and Honorable Akando as vice, with all the terms of reference, and the committee is to report back to this House by 3 weeks. It's hereby adopted.
The announcement of the committee follows the adoption of motion from 7 members of the minority for a probe into the contracts between the Republic of Ghana, Sheikh Mohammed Al Maktoum, and one other for the supply of Sputnik V COVID-19 vaccines. The other members of the committee are Akacha South MP Bernard Ahiafo, Asante-Achim Central MP Kwame Anyumadu Enchi, Ashaiman MP Ernest Nogbe, Techiman North MP Elizabeth Ofosu Ejare, Ifijase Asokore MP Dr. Ayu Efriye, Yendi MP Farouk Aliu Mahama, and Ablikman North MP Sheila Batels.
What we want is value for money and protecting the public purse of Ghana and diligently going into the matter of the procurement of the vaccines. Mr. Speaker, we want the people of Ghana to have value for money and to ensure that there is value for the use of the taxpayers' money on this matter.
Ranking Member of Health, Kwabena Minta Akando, says the committee will do due diligence and report back to the House.
At the end of the day, we will have to protect the public space. At the end of the day, the good people of this country must be vaccinated. Okay? Because you see, if you are not dealing with the right source, number one, the quality of the vaccine is in question. Number two, you don't even get it at the right time, because that person, that middleman, hasn't gotten any control on the vaccine, because you're not dealing with the government or the manufacturer. And that's problematic. Yesterday, if you heard me, I made reference to their own document that stipulates that they should have vaccinated more than 7.9 million people by 2nd June. We are in July. You understand? And we have not vaccinated even more than 1 million people.
The committee has 3 weeks to conclude its work and report to Parliament.
The European Union will soon begin talks with the Ghanaian government for the establishment of a vaccine manufacturing plant in the country. According to outgoing head of the EU delegation, Diana Consia, Ghana is a key partner to the European Union, and therefore the EU remains committed to a collaboration that will enable Ghana become a vaccine manufacturing hub in the sub-region.
Ghana is a long-standing partner of the European Union in areas of trade, governance and security. Currently, the country exports about 80% of its cocoa to the EU market. The long-standing trade and economic relationship between the pair was further strengthened on July 1 when the European Union market began accepting goods from Ghana on the duty-free, quota-free basis. Despite the ravages of the COVID-19 pandemic, outgoing head of the EU, Diana Akonsia, believes Ghana can bounce back better through more robust economic policies, a vibrant private sector, among others.
Mr. President, COVID has disrupted our lives and development plans and has particularly hurt the most vulnerable. It has made it harder for everyone to achieve the sustainable development goals. But Ghana has all it takes to bounce back: a committed government, a robust private sector, and a vibrant civil society.
She was hopeful that the EU will begin discussions with Ghana on the establishment of a vaccine manufacturing plant in the country.
The European Investment Bank is invested into the Ghana Development Bank, and I hope that we can soon start discussions on supporting vaccine manufacturing in Ghana. This makes for a very strong economic partnership. And in addition, your government has shown its determination to fight climate change and to embark on a sustainable growth path.
According to President Akufo-Addo, Ghana is looking forward to firming up plans to make Ghana a vaccine manufacturing hub in the sub-region.
Take very seriously the possibility of cooperation from the European Union in establishing a vaccine manufacturing plant here in Ghana. It's not possible for us, having seen what happened this first time, that we can look. In fact, we should have taken, I think that in all seriousness, we should have taken our cue from the Ebola crisis. It came and went, and somehow because it went, we all went to sleep again. Not knowing that we're in the year or the century of pandemics. And we cannot afford to be caught with pants down again the next time some major pandemic breaks out. So we're taking very seriously our plans to develop our own capacity to produce our vaccines here in Ghana. And I was particularly excited about the possibility of support and partnership from the European Union.
The President commended the EU for its funding of the COVAX facility, which has made it possible for Ghana to benefit from COVID-19 vaccines.
Former President John Dramani Mahama has added his voice to the ongoing debate about salary allocation to the spouses of the President and Vice President. The ex-president has described the decision as unreasonable and an attempt to sneak the First and Second Lady into Article 71 Office Holders Group. According to the ex-president, Article 71 is an entrenched clause in the 1992 Constitution, and as such, nothing short of a referendum can amend it.
Spouses of the first and second gentlemen of the country has generated a passionate debate among many Ghanaians on social media and traditional media platforms. Latest to join the debate is former President John Dramani Mahama. The ex-president has questioned the committee's decision to make such recommendations when it rightly makes a case on page 51 of its report that Article 71 or any of the provisions in the Constitution does not bestow benefits on spouses of presidents and vice presidents. As such, the right or appropriate way to get the first and second lady as legitimate salary earners under Article 71 is through a referendum. He also made reference to the Dubanda Committee report that the future of fixing salaries of office holders will be strengthened if guiding principles are upheld. The ex-president also recalls how now President Akufo-Addo vehemently opposed the inclusion of spouses during the 4th Republican Parliament, where President Akufo-Addo was a young MP like himself. He concluded by saying steps must be taken to ensure that the committee's recommendations are not retroactively applied, which he believes will lead to double payments.
The Accra Metropolitan Assembly has set up a 7-member committee to investigate the fire outbreak at Makola in the Central Business District of Accra, where 108 shops were ravaged. The committee, according to the Mayor of Accra, Mohammed Ejesowa, has 1 week, amongst others, to assess the integrity of the structure and advise whether affected buildings should be pulled down.
The committee to investigate and assess the extent of damage of the Makola fire outbreak includes representatives of the Ghana Police Service, NADMO, ECG, Ghana Water Company Limited, Ghana National Fire Service, the Ghana Army and the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. They have 1 week to finish with the investigation and advise on the way forward. Mohammed Ejesowa is the Mayor of Accra.
So this is a 7-member committee that has been formed and with a mandate of investigating the cause of the fire and to assess the extent of damage. The building is going to be cordoned off and will not allow any human activity around the building. Within the remit of the fact that the investigation continues, the building is still not safe for occupancy, and that people should also respect the rules that we have set out for us. The police are here to do their job, and anybody who decides to do otherwise, the police will apprehend the person.
He added that the victims will be compensated.
As pledged by the Minister for Trade and Industry, Honorable Alan Tramanten, on behalf of government, assistance will be provided to them. Already meeting had commenced with the AMA, the victims represented by Guta and the Ministry of Trade. And we are hopeful that in a couple of days, the assessment will be completed and the victims will be supported as pledged by the Honorable Minister for Trade.
President for the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Dr. Joseph Obin, was happy with the procedures taken so far by government. He gave this advice.
The government should also take pragmatic steps to help to build satellite markets so that it will go a long way to decongest. Any open space around, Rollins Park is lying there idle. We should be able to fund money as early as possible. The way we've built the KJTR market should be done, should be replicated here so that it can consume more of the trading habitation. And that's what we are also appealing to government.
Meanwhile, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly says closed routes in the Central Business District will be opened to enable traders continue with their businesses.
Now, hundreds of parents and relatives held a vigil around the discarded shoes of the abducted children at the Bethel Baptist High School in Nigeria's Kaduna State on Friday, July 9, to pray for their safe return. Now, more than 120 students were taken from the school on Monday, July 5, after armed men raided the establishment in Nigeria's Kaduna State. The national president of the Baptist Convention, Israel Akinaji, blamed the security forces for being too weak to face up to the bandits.
Ask the Lord to come and Judgment and ask for law to be.
Manpower has not been really sufficient. Also, we have seen from the banditry things that have been experienced that the bandits, a lot of times, they overpower our own security. Whether it is because we have inadequate weapons or that the adequate weapons are not in the hands of our people at the right time, I believe that something is wrong somewhere.
Whatever I am now, it is by your grace.
The United States will send senior federal law enforcement officials to Haiti as soon as possible to help after the assassination of President Jovenel Moise, the White House has said on Friday, July 9.
The United States remains engaged and in close consultations with our Haitian and international partners to support the Haitian people in the aftermath of the assassination of the president. In response to the Haitian government's request for security and investigative assistance, we will be sending senior FBI and DHS officials to Port-au-Prince as soon as possible to assess the situation and how we may be able to assist. Our evil, we know, operates in Russia and other countries around the world. Our assistance is to help the people of Haiti and to help them get through what is a very challenging time and has long been, even before the assassination of the president. So the investigation is not going to impact the assistance we're providing to the people of Haiti. But as I announced at the beginning, we are sending, because supporting law enforcement efforts on the ground and making sure we are providing resources in terms of women and manpower, but also financial resources is part of what our objective is as well.
And how many law enforcement agents?
At the Geneva summit between President Biden and President Putin. And finally, Haiti is one of the countries that will be receiving vaccines from the United States. We will be prepared to deliver those, hopefully as early as next week.
Well, all too soon, we've come to the end of tonight's edition of Newsline, and for that matter, this week's edition of Newsline, brought to you by Delta Paper, producers of floral disposable tissue. Before I go, a quick recap of our major stories. So Safumaf is insisting Akufo-Addo administration deserves all the accolades for the construction of the now commissioned 4-tier Pokwase interchange, but not the Mahama administration, which sought the funds. And then also 9-member ad hoc parliamentary committee set up to investigate whether government indeed procured Sputnik V vaccines through middlemen at an inflated cost. Well, my name as usual is Moro. Thanks for watching. Same time on Monday, I'll be here at 10:30 for another edition of Newsline. Have a good night. The news never sleeps. Bye-bye.